Welcome to Growth Mindset Success, where your journey to personal excellence begins. Here we unlock powerful ideas and timeless wisdom from the world's most influential books on success, mindset, and motivation. In a fast-paced world, you need guidance that inspires and equips you to act, improve, and rise. That's what we deliver. No fluff, just value. Whether you're an entrepreneur, dreamer, or seeker of clarity and purpose, you're in the right place. So sit back, relax, and get ready to grow. If you find value, don't forget to subscribe for weekly book summaries that unlock your full potential. Let's dive in.
Principle 10. Avoid arguments. Carnegie observed that no one truly wins an argument. Even if facts prove you right, the other person often leaves with resentment. The smarter approach is to avoid direct confrontation and redirect energy toward common ground. Imagine two coworkers fighting over a deadline. If one says, "You're wrong, my way is faster," tension grows. But if instead they say, "We both want the project done on time with high quality. Can we brainstorm two options?" Cooperation replaces conflict. Abraham Lincoln used this technique often, choosing to sidestep heated debates with generals by writing unsent letters to vent frustration privately. This preserved dignity and unity. Parents use the same approach when guiding teenagers. Instead of "You're wrong to stay out late," they say, "I care about your safety. What plan can we both agree on?" Arguments focus on ego. Agreements focus on progress. The real victory is not proving someone wrong, but creating a path forward together. Principle 11. Respect opinions. Few things shut down communication faster than the phrase, "You're wrong." It attacks pride and identity. Carnegie taught that we must respect others' opinions, even when we disagree. This doesn't mean surrendering truth. It means framing disagreement gently. For example, if a friend insists on an opinion you believe is mistaken, instead of bluntly rejecting it, say, "That's an interesting point. I see why you think that. May I share another angle?" This keeps the conversation open. Thomas Edison practiced this in his labs, encouraging even odd ideas from his team. Most failed, but the respect he showed created an environment where innovation flourished. Respect also matters at home. A parent who dismisses a child's idea damages confidence. One who says, "That's creative, let's think about it," builds self-esteem. Respect is not about agreement, but about honoring human dignity. When people feel valued, they are far more willing to listen. Principle 12. Admit mistakes quickly. Human instinct is to defend ourselves when accused of error. Yet, Carnegie discovered the opposite strategy is far more effective. Admit mistakes quickly and sincerely. People are disarmed when we say, "You're right. I made a mistake." Imagine a manager who forgets a meeting. Instead of blaming traffic, they say, "I mismanaged my time. I apologize. Let's reschedule." Trust rises instead of falling. Benjamin Franklin admitted faults openly in his writings, which increased admiration instead of diminishing it. In family life, a parent who apologizes to a child teaches humility and responsibility better than lectures. Admitting mistakes quickly is not weakness, it's strength. It shows maturity, honesty, and self-respect. A quick admission often ends conflict before it starts and restores cooperation faster than any excuse. Principle 13. Begin in a friendly way. People respond to tone before they process words. A harsh opening hardens resistance. A friendly start softens it. Carnegie advised always beginning interactions with warmth. Compare two scenarios. A boss starts with, "We need to discuss your errors," versus, "I really appreciate your hard work. Let's see how we can improve this area together." The second approach reduces defensiveness. Customer service provides daily proof. A warm greeting can turn anger into patience. Leaders who open meetings by thanking teams build morale before tackling challenges. Even difficult conversations at home work better when they begin with kindness. Friendliness is not manipulation. It's recognizing our shared humanity. When people feel valued from the first moment, they are open to what follows. Principle 14. Get early yeses. Carnegie called this the yes, yes strategy. By asking questions that generate early agreement, you prepare minds for later acceptance. People strive for consistency. Once they agree with small truths, they are more likely to agree with bigger ones. Salespeople use this by asking, "Would you like to save time?" And saving time saves money, right? After 2 yeses, the main pitch feels natural. Parents do this too. You want more time to play, and finishing homework faster gives you more time, right? The child is more likely to agree to finish work. This method only works with genuine truths. Fake yeses break trust. Building a chain of sincere agreements sets a cooperative rhythm. By the time you reach your main idea, resistance has already softened. Principle 15. Let others talk. Carnegie emphasized that influence comes not from talking, but from listening. People support ideas they help shape, but they cannot shape them if never heard. Ask open questions, then remain silent. Resist interrupting. In negotiations, silence often reveals hidden needs. A client may initially reject a price, but with space to talk, may reveal budget concerns you can address. In friendships, deep listening builds bonds stronger than advice. Even in conflicts, allowing the other person to fully explain reduces anger. A wise leader speaks less, listens more, and discovers more. As the saying goes, when you talk, you repeat what you already know. When you listen, you learn something new. Principle 16. Let others feel ownership. Nothing motivates like ownership. When people feel an idea is theirs, they commit with energy. Carnegie taught leaders to guide with questions so others reach the solution themselves. A manager might ask, "What if we tested 2 versions of the ad?" instead of ordering it. If the team suggests it, they work harder. Henry Ford often asked engineers questions that led to the solutions he had in mind, letting them claim credit. Parents use this too. Asking a child, "What would make mornings smoother?" helps the child design routines they actually follow. Ownership transforms compliance into enthusiasm. People defend and nurture their own ideas with passion. Principle 17. See from their viewpoint. Empathy disarms. Carnegie insisted we must look through the eyes of others before persuading, saying, "Given your workload, your caution makes sense," acknowledges their reality. Once people feel understood, they become open to your perspective. Franklin D. Roosevelt practiced this by framing policies in terms of others' fears and hopes. In personal relationships, acknowledging feelings before presenting your view calms tension. "I understand you're frustrated after such a long day. Here's what I was thinking." This isn't surrender, it's respect. When you see from another's viewpoint, you show them they matter. Only then will they consider seeing from yours. Principle 18. Be sympathetic. Validation is often more powerful than logic. When someone expresses a fear or desire, meet it with sympathy. "I understand why you feel that way." This doesn't mean agreement. It means acknowledgement. Parents soothe frightened children not by denying fear but by saying, "I know it feels scary. I'm here with you." Adults respond the same way. Leaders who say, "I understand this is stressful," before asking for effort gain more cooperation. Sympathy lowers defenses and strengthens bonds. Without it, people feel dismissed and resist. With it, they feel safe to move forward. Principle 19. Appeal to noble motives. Carnegie observed that most people like to believe they act nobly. Appealing to these motives inspires better behavior. Instead of saying, "Do this for profit," say, "This will raise our standard and serve our clients better." Abraham Lincoln appealed to the better angels of our nature to unite a divided nation. In everyday life, asking a friend for help, because you're always so dependable, appeals to pride and integrity, not obligation. Leaders who frame goals around fairness, service, or pride unlock higher motivation than those who focus only on selfish benefits. Principle 20. Dramatize ideas. Facts persuade the mind, but stories persuade the heart. Carnegie urged us to dramatize ideas. A dull presentation saying, "We lose 10% of revenue due to delays," is forgettable. Showing a live demo of wasted time is unforgettable. Teachers know that a story explains a lesson better than a rule. Marketers dramatize value through before and after ads. In daily life, dramatizing might mean showing a messy kitchen before proposing a cleanup plan. The mind remembers visuals and stories long after numbers fade. To persuade deeply, make your idea come alive with drama. Principle 21. Offer friendly challenges. Humans love games. Carnegie suggested channeling this instinct by offering friendly challenges. A leader might say, "Let's see if we can beat last month's results." Winner chooses Friday lunch. Parents can turn chores into races. Teachers inspire effort through playful competitions. The challenge must remain fair and friendly. If it becomes punitive, it backfires. A playful contest transforms routine into fun. Effort doubles when people compete willingly and cheerfully. Section 4. Be a leader. Principle 22. Begin with praise. Criticism stings less when it follows genuine praise. Carnegie urged leaders to start feedback with appreciation. Your report was thorough. Let's improve the formatting. Without praise, the same advice sounds harsh. In workplaces, this boosts morale. At home, children respond better to correction when parents first acknowledge effort. Praise must be specific and sincere. Empty flattery fails, but real recognition builds confidence. Beginning with praise ensures people hear feedback as guidance, not attack. Principle 23. Call attention to mistakes indirectly. Direct criticism embarrasses and creates resistance. Carnegie advised pointing out mistakes indirectly. A teacher might say, "Check this answer again. You usually excel at these problems." Instead of, "You're wrong." The first motivates, the second shames. In leadership, saying, "This section could use more of your usual clarity," inspires improvement without hurting pride. Subtle corrections protect dignity while still correcting errors. Indirect feedback turns criticism into encouragement. Principle 24. Admit your own mistakes. First, nothing disarms defenses faster than humility. A leader saying, "I've rushed this step before too. Here's how I fixed it," creates openness. Benjamin Franklin practiced this by admitting his faults before advising others, which made his advice more credible. In families, parents who say, "I used to struggle with this too," make children feel less judged. Admitting our own imperfections models growth and creates connection. Only then does criticism feel supportive instead of superior. Principle 25. Ask questions. Don't give orders. Orders create obedience but little enthusiasm. Questions create ownership and motivation. Instead of saying, "Do this report," a leader might ask, "How do you think we should present this data?" The result is the same, but the attitude is different. People like to feel they are contributing, not just following commands. In families, asking, "How should we divide chores?" gets better cooperation than assigning tasks. Influence grows when people feel choice, not compulsion. Principle 26. Let people say. Face shame leaves lasting scars. Carnegie emphasized letting others save face when correcting errors. This means correcting privately and with dignity. A boss who scolds publicly creates resentment. A parent who humiliates a child discourages learning. But a quiet conversation that protects pride preserves relationships. Everyone makes mistakes. What people Remember, most is how we treated them afterward. Saving face builds loyalty and trust. Principle 27. Praise small improvements. Improvement is usually gradual, not dramatic. Carnegie advised praising even the tiniest steps forward. This draft is clearer than the last. Nice progress. Each acknowledgement fuels motivation. Teachers encourage struggling students by celebrating small wins. Coaches build athletes' confidence by noting every gain. Parents strengthen children's persistence by praising small efforts. When people feel their progress is noticed, they continue striving. Neglect discourages, encouragement multiplies. Principle 28. Give a reputation to live up to. People live up to the identities assigned to them. If you say, "You're the person I rely on for accuracy," they strive to be accurate. Positive reputations inspire effort. Negative labels destroy it. Carnegie taught leaders to assign noble reputations and watch behavior align. Parents who say, "You're responsible and kind," see children act responsibly and kindly. Leaders who tell employees, "You're known for creativity," see more creative work. Identity is powerful. Use it to elevate, not diminish. Principle 29. Encourage. Don't discourage when challenges feel overwhelming. People give up. Carnegie taught us to frame faults as solvable. Instead of saying, "This is all wrong," say, "Just a few tweaks will improve this greatly." Encouragement gives hope. In classrooms, teachers who frame mistakes as part of learning keep students motivated. In workplaces, leaders who present challenges as small steps inspire action. Encouragement is fuel. Discouragement is poison. A single phrase of optimism can transform effort. Principle 30. Make people happy to do the task. The highest form of leadership is inspiring enthusiasm. Carnegie urged us to connect tasks to pride and meaning. Instead of saying, "Do this because I said so," say, "This will showcase your skills to the team." Employees, children, and friends work harder when they see personal benefit. Motivation grows when tasks align with identity and goals. Leaders who link work to opportunity spark energy. Parents who connect chores to independence raise responsible children. When people are happy to do a task, excellence follows naturally. Principle 10. Extra examples. One famous example comes from George Washington, who was known for his restraint in arguments. Instead of confronting his officers harshly, he often listened, then calmly restated the shared mission. This won loyalty and avoided rebellion. In daily life, imagine a couple disagreeing about spending. Instead of fighting about who's right, they might reframe, "We both want financial security. How do we get there together?" Avoiding arguments doesn't mean silence. It means choosing influence over ego. Principle 11. Extra examples. Respecting opinions is vital in leadership. Steve Jobs, despite his intensity, often asked his team to walk him through their perspective, even if he disagreed. The respect shown kept creativity alive. In friendships, debates about politics or sports often become toxic. But when one says, "I see your point, though I lean differently," the respect maintains the relationship. Principle 12. Extra examples. Quick admissions of fault can transform workplace culture. In aviation, pilots are trained to admit mistakes immediately to ensure safety. This honesty saves lives. In personal life, a spouse who says, "I forgot the anniversary, I'm sorry," often softens anger faster than excuses. Owning mistakes turns potential conflicts into opportunities for trust. Principle 13. Extra examples. Consider how negotiators begin peace talks. They rarely start with accusations. They begin by acknowledging the other side's concerns with friendliness. This sets a tone for resolution. Even in business emails, beginning with "I hope you are doing well" creates a smoother path for requests that follow. Friendliness is the gateway to cooperation. Principle 14. Extra examples. The yes ladder is used in psychology and sales. Researchers found that even small agreements increase compliance later. In personal life, asking, "You like relaxing weekends, right?" and finishing chores early helps that right. Builds momentum. The method is subtle, but powerful when applied with honesty. Principle 15. Extra examples. Oprah Winfrey built her career on listening. Guests felt truly heard, which created powerful interviews. In conflict resolution, mediators spend most of their time letting each side talk out their frustrations before suggesting solutions. Listening is not passive, it's active influence. Principle 16. Extra examples. Leaders like Nelson Mandela mastered this principle. He asked questions that allowed others to feel ownership of peace agreements. Even if he had the vision, he let others articulate it. In classrooms, teachers who guide students with questions see more engagement than those who dictate. Ownership inspires responsibility. Principle 17. Extra examples. A business leader negotiating with unions might say, "I understand your concern for job security. Here's how we can ensure it." By seeing from their viewpoint first, hostility eases. In families, a partner who says, "I get that you're tired after work. Let's plan chores differently," prevents conflict. Empathy changes tone. Principle 18. Extra examples. Sympathy in healthcare is transformative. Doctors who say, "I know this. Diagnosis is scary," build more trust than those who only present facts. Sympathy shows we care beyond logic. Even managers who say, "I know deadlines are tough right now," gain loyalty. People crave acknowledgement of feelings before solutions. Principle 19. Extra examples. Appealing to noble motives is common in campaigns. Leaders ask citizens to act for the good of future generations. Parents ask children to behave because you're kind and responsible. By appealing to values, we elevate behavior. Appeals to greed often fail, but appeals to pride and fairness succeed. Principle 20. Extra examples. Martin Luther King Jr. dramatized ideas through vivid imagery. "I have a dream." Those words painted a vision more powerful than statistics. In workplaces, leaders dramatize urgency with visual examples instead of numbers. A messy desk shown in a meeting has more impact than a slide of figures. Drama etches memory. Principle 21. Extra examples. Sports teams thrive on challenges. Coaches frame goals as friendly competitions. "Let's beat our own record this week." At home, parents say, "Let's see who can teddy up faster." Friendly competition transforms tasks into energy. Humans are wired for play and challenges. Harness this wiring. Principle 22. Extra examples. Abraham Lincoln often began letters with praise before delivering hard truths. This softened resistance. In modern leadership, saying, "Your creativity here is fantastic. Let's refine this detail," inspires cooperation. Praise first, critique second. Principle 23. Extra examples. Indirection is an art. In Japanese culture, indirect feedback is common to preserve harmony. A manager might say, "Perhaps this section could be even stronger," instead of bluntly criticizing. The meaning is clear, but dignity is preserved. Indirectness is not weakness. It's strategic kindness. Principle 24. Extra examples. Warren Buffett often admits mistakes publicly in shareholder letters. By confessing first, he builds credibility. In families, saying, "I used to struggle with this too," reassures. Children, admitting your flaws creates a safe space for others to grow. Principle 25. Extra examples. A military general once said he got more loyalty by asking, "How do you think we should approach this?" than by issuing strict commands. Questions build morale. Even in households, asking, "What should we cook tonight?" builds cooperation instead of resentment. Orders Compel. Questions invite. Principle 26. Extra examples. Saving face is a core idea in Asian cultures but applies globally. A boss who corrects in private builds loyalty. A teacher who gently addresses errors helps students keep confidence. People remember how they were treated during mistakes more than the mistakes themselves. Protect dignity at all costs. Principle 27. Extra examples. When Thomas Edison's team worked tirelessly on failed experiments, he praised their progress. We found 10,000 ways that don't work. His encouragement kept them going. Praise of small improvements sustains long journeys. Without it, motivation dies. Principle 28. Extra examples. Labeling is powerful. Telling a student, "You're a natural leader," makes them act like one. Telling them, "You're lazy," makes them live down to it. Leaders who assign positive reputations lift others higher. People rise to the image they believe others hold of them. Principle 29. Extra examples. A teacher who says, "You're improving quickly, just a few more steps," keeps students engaged. A boss who says, "You're far behind," kills effort. Encouragement focuses on possibility. Discouragement on failure. People flourish in environments of hope. Principle 30. Extra examples. Disney built an empire by making employees happy to serve guests. Instead of orders, leaders frame work as meaningful. You're creating magic for families. When people feel purpose, they give their best. Leaders should connect tasks to pride, growth, and meaning.